Hey LCR, wanted to remind you that tonight we'll be starting our midweek Bible study. So if you're unable to join us on Monday mornings or are just doing devotions in the app, but would like to be in community, we'll be meeting this evening in T Hall. And hopefully you'll join us as we pick a book and study it. We'll either pick something in the Old Testament or the New Testament. And I do have some other material I'll present that I find interesting and hope you'll find interesting as well. Even as I make this video and we start this class, we are sitting in the shadow of yesterday's school shooting in Texas. And of course, there's so much conversation happening, much of it conversations that have already happened. And what I want to say to you this morning is the community we are trying to build at LCR is a community that will be an antidote to this kind of alienation and violence, a community of vulnerability, a community of mutual belonging, a community of peacemaking. Now, we can talk about different policy discussions and different political avenues that we might be thinking about. We can talk about philosophies of government and self-government. All those things are appropriate conversations. But what I really want us each to think about is what it means to be a person of peace and not a person of violence. Now, when I say to be a person of peace and not a person of violence, I mean that in the broadest sense possible. Being a person that brings peace in your intimate relationships, peace in your relationships with children and neighbors, especially when we feel anxious or when we're feeling worn out. It feels so difficult to be a peacemaker, to bless when there has been curse, to not seek vengeance, but to offer goodness and love. This is the way of Jesus. Jesus went to the cross, and when he was on the cross, he prayed for forgiveness for his enemies, not because he was weak and consenting to this world of death, but rather because he was undoing it with the power of his love. You as a Christian, you as a member of this church, are an ambassador of that power. And so these are the weapons of the Spirit that we deploy so that Christ might use us to bring about his peace. We can talk about violence that happens in other places, but let's be clear about making peace where we live. There's going to be a lot you're hearing about in the next couple of weeks about a semi-annual meeting, about some summer programming. Reminder that VBS is still registering. We have a few more weeks of youth program before they go into the summer. So pay attention, and as we transition into summer, you'll see some of the things that are coming up for our life as a church.